Hello and welcome to Potterwatch from Page to Screen, episode 27. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Lucy.
In Potterwatch, we discuss all of the major and most of the minor differences in Harry Potter books and films. Last time, we went looking for clues about the Chamber of Secrets and got our arms broken in a game of Quidditch. Oh no!
Today we'll be getting a mysterious visitor in the hospital wing and the monster will strike again, but this time it's something much worse than a cat.
Dum dum dum. We've been on hiatus for a while, trying to get back into the swing of things after Lucy went off to uni. Woohoo!
Woo! I went to film school just for this podcast. That's the truth.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be more
risked it all. We have recorded this episode 28, and episode 29 already, but we needed to have a fresh start. We've been listening to some podcasts and want to improve Potterwatch so it's as easy and fun for you guys to listen to as it is for us to make. So we won't be doing the sorting hat anymore, and we're endeavouring to make it less rambly whilst also still getting fired up on the topics we care about.
Which won't be difficult.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So, without further ado, let's get started with Lucy.
Okie dokie. Lovely jubbly. So, first of all...
How many English isms can we get?
First of all, we have Madame Pomfrey giving Harry the Skelly Grow, which is pretty much copy-paste from the book to the script. The only thing we don't get is some classic arm without bones kind of comedy bits that are in the book. One, while Harry is changing into pyjamas, the book says, it took a while to stuff the rubbery, boneless arm into a sleeve, and also, again, while he's getting into a hospital bed, where it says, he swung himself onto the bed, his arm flapped pointlessly. The phrasing of flapped pointlessly, something about that really... I feel that energy from him of like, what?
Yes.
What? Like, come on, dude. Like, what's the point? Like, why are you here if you're not gonna help me pick stuff up? Like, what's going on? It does make me makes me chuckle.
Yeah.
The film, it does add a line of dialogue to further explain the nasty taste of Skelly Grow. When Madame Pomfrey says, "What did you expect? Pumpkin juice?" Because of course in the book we get a first-person account of what it's like. It burned Harry's mouth and throat as it went down, making him cough and splutter. This one of those changes that's like sound gotta be done, necessary, and I really like Madame Pomfrey's line here.
Yeah, same.
I think it's a fun little. I wish she had more character in the films. I feel like this is a good little moment for her.
Yeah, she's like one of those like tiger mums. Is that the right word?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Like mother bears type vibe, like very fiercely protective of like hundreds of students doing stupid stuff every single day.
The point of getting too protective.
Yeah. She's like exasperated but really it just makes me think of all the young dudes.
Yeah.
After reading that I can't see Madame Pomfrey without thinking of her like caring for Remus. I never got super far into that, but that one detail did really... I liked that a lot.
I did really like that about it.
In the book, Hermione speculates that Malfoy is the one to blame for the bludger attacking Harry, and in the film, they skip the speculation altogether. Fair enough, slightly strange choice, but got to cut for time, I suppose.
Yeah.
Madame Pomfrey has a bit of an oversight in the book when she shoos away the Gryffindor Quidditch team, who have all brought drinks, cakes and snacks to celebrate the win. This, of course, means that Harry has nothing to distract him from the pain of growing 33 bones in one night.
I hate stuff like that. This never happened to me. My mum was always really cool with me, like, playing video games or watching TV and stuff when I was ill, but I always heard about people whose mums would, like, force you to not do anything. So you're, like, only thinking about how rubbish you feel.
Yeah. Or it's like, if you are playing games or watching TV, it's like, oh, well, if you're obviously not very sick, are you? Like, if you're well enough to lie on the sofa watching telly. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of brain to watch telly.
Yeah, especially if you're watching daytime telly.
Yeah.
Which you usually are if you're...
I always watched the kids shows. Like
Oh yeah,
CBeebies.
fair. Yeah.
At Weebaloo and in the Night Garden.
Yeah. Nice,
Uh,
nice. That's a
yeah.
shout. Yeah, this is annoying, and it's a recurring kind of
Mm.
theme, I guess, is just no one being allowed to visit anyone in the hospital wing, even when it's very important business. Then, of course, Harry gets one more surprise in the form of a small elf. In the film, Harry wakes up tossing and turning, hearing the voice of the monster again, and then Dobby appears. In the book, however, Dobby is the one who wakes Harry up as he was sponging his head. What? That's so terrifying. Imagine opening your eyes and a tiny little elf creature you've met like once before is sponging your head. I don't know. Anyway, it just
So creepy.
like the film version, the way the film did it was a full-on jump scare though. That I was scared of Dobby in the second film, and that scene.
Yeah.
Stuck
Hello.
yeah, exactly. It's terrifying. It's scary than
Yeah.
the basilisk. He's the real
Yeah.
villain of this film. Anyway. In the film, Dobby says he has to iron his hands because of the bludger. In the book, he irons his hands for stopping the barrier to platform 9 3/4, and he gets a flogging for letting his master's dinner burn because he found out Harry was back at school. He never punishes himself for the bludger in the book, or it never mentions him having to.
I wonder why there's a differentiation made with Dobby as to which things he punishes himself for. Like, is it because Harry's not his master or something? Because I know he punishes himself for, like, disobeying Harry, but is that after he's freed from the Malfoys? Don't know. I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he kind of sees Harry as his master, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Do you mean like a book to film difference, or like
No, just in general.
but
I think
he like
in the film it kind of makes more sense because he says he irons his hands for the bludger,
as in
but
having
in the
like
book he
specific
doesn't punish himself for the bludger,
right.
which is weird.
I suppose the bludger isn't directly like against his master. Like he's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
But the bludger itself, if anything, that's like helping them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, and maybe it's
not
because
as- maybe
Dobby
it's a bit-
sees it as helping Harry out as well.
Right. It's like a bit of a loophole where it's kind of he's doing something bad, but in service of his real master, and also he believes in service of Harry. It's a bit less like black and white, like burning dinner. It's like, oh, messed up dinner. Go burn your hands, you know?
Yeah. It's just weird because he punishes himself for stopping the barrier to platform 9 3/4.
But is that not because...
Presumably the Malfoy's already through by that point.
Oh, true.
It's weird.
Maybe it was just because they found out he wasn't at home where he was supposed
Yeah,
to be.
maybe
it
it's
was
something
more...
unwritten.
Yeah.
And it might be a bit messed up because Dobby punishes himself. He doesn't.
Oh, true.
The Malfoys don't choose his punishment, so maybe it's just like Dobby's
Right. His
weird.
own weird moral judgment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
make sense, I think.
Yeah. Just thought it was interesting.
Odd. Yeah. No, that's interesting to think about where the line is between what needs to be punished and how severely, and yeah. Okie dokes. And Dobby then explains that he is trying to save Harry because of how poorly the house elves were treated when Voldemort was in power, and he feels he owes a debt to Harry, as it was Harry who defeated Voldemort, which resulted in house elves generally being treated a lot better. Dobby lets slip that history is to repeat itself and smacks himself over the head in the film with a bottle of Skelly Grow, and in the book, Harry's water jug. I quite like the Skelly Grow in the film because it's a prop that's already been established, and it's like it's a bit more club-like, which creates a nice kind of you've got that kind of visual comedy that I feel like it's
Yeah, it's one of the
works really
coolest
well. I like
props.
yeah it's
as well.
sick, really cool. All of the
Yeah.
bottles and the
Yeah, but the one you see, like, if you like Google potions bottles on like Etsy and stuff, it's always Skelly Grow.
yeah. No, the design is very, very cool.
Mm.
In the book, when Dobby pleads for Harry to go home, Harry tells him that if the chamber really is opened again, Hermione will be the first to go, as she's a Muggle-born. Dobby gets very choked up on hearing this. Harry Potter risks his own life for his friends, moaned Dobby, in a kind of miserable ecstasy. So noble, so valiant. In the film, Harry pretty much ignores Dobby, asking him to go home. He's not fussed, not bothered. Which makes sense, because he's still some random little elf that he's met, like, once before. There's no, it's, you know, fair enough.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, just ignore, like, don't engage with that.
Yeah.
Dobby has to go when they hear someone coming in the hospital wing. In the film, he clicks and turns around into a kind of little mist. It's very mysterious. In the book, he apparates, which is described as being a loud crack. Obviously, I prefer the book because it stays consistent with apparition, but that fun little like click and like phase, like Avenger style phase out is, it's like fun.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I wish that it stayed, like, I think it even though apparition becomes more of like a thing in the books later on, the film should have stayed with this version rather than the weird, because it's still not accurate to the book, so why would you change it from what Dobby does? But I'm not sure if they even made the connection between what Dobby does and what the other people do, because I didn't until like I don't know, the 6th read through or something. Like, oh, he's apparating, like that's actual apparating. But yeah, I think we can like get started on the rant of how bad apparating is when we review the later film.
Yeah, maybe when they're doing see, maybe that will be interesting, because controversially, I quite like a lot of the apparating, even the weird smoky zooming around apparating. I quite enjoy it.
I like the smoke, but like them like zooming around. Like apparating is teleporting. You don't exist between teleportations. It's instant.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Anyway,
There's some discussion to be had.
Yeah. All right. So in the film, 2 unknown random wizards. I'm laughing because this just baffles me. That have never been seen before and will never be seen again, are carrying Colin in on a stretcher while Dumbledore and McGonagall walk beside him. So that's in the film, whereas in the book, Dumbledore and McGonagall are the ones carrying Colin, and because he's petrified, like he's like a statue basically at this point, they don't need a stretcher. Yeah, it's this is just so weird. Anyway,
could this be a weird like health and safety risk assessment thing where they need specific, like they had to say that they had like trained professionals carrying him? Oh,
like on the film set?
Yeah, like not within the universe, like a kind of just for purely logistics. Was it like they can't have 2 random slightly older actors carrying a child? I don't know.
But they could have like gotten body doubles in and dressed them up.
True.
I don't know.
Yeah, no. There are many ways that they could have made it seem.
Yeah, that might be like too much effort to put in for like a few seconds of scene, but it really makes me laugh now when I watch it. I never noticed it before writing this script for Potterwatch, and I was like, who are those guys?
No, it's so random. I suppose that's the thing though, it's if we've only noticed it now, obviously it worked fine, because on a normal person viewing this, like,
it doesn't matter.
But it is peculiar that it's just some random people. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They couldn't even like whack a foot twig on someone.
I remember on a Harry Potter Facebook group that I'm on, somebody posted a question like, what's the weirdest unexplainable like book to film difference? And I put this one, and so many people were like, oh, I've never noticed that before, that's so strange. And loads of people said that they'd never noticed it, so yeah, it clearly works.
Yeah.
But it is weird when you do notice
it's
it.
strange.
It's like one of those blinding things.
Uh-huh.
In the book, McGonagall mentions that they found grapes next to Colin, so she thinks he was trying to sneak up to the hospital wing to visit Harry. This obviously wasn't mentioned in the film.
Can we
so cute.
talk about the fact that Colin is planning to visit this second year? He's got a bit of a crush on in the dead of night and feed him grapes.
I mean, is our ship of Colin and Harry really that unfounded?
Like, just imagine he's not been petrified and he gets to the hospital wing. He has two options. I suppose he has three. Option one, Harry's sleeping, he leaves. No way is he going to do that one. So really he has two options.
Yeah.
He sits beside the bed and watches Harry sleeping. Like, just watches him like he's some kind of teenage vampire. And then is there like Dobby when he wakes up.
Yeah.
Or, option number two, I suppose, to be fair, this could have been earlier in the day, but people would have found him, so it's been night. It's evening at least.
Yeah.
Option two is he goes, wakes Harry, and it's like, mate, I brought you some grapes. Let me feed them to them. Let me feed them to you like you're some kind of Roman.
Yeah, Roman Emperor style.
Why did J.K. Rowling choose grapes?
I know.
That's the thing. They carry so much implication,
I know.
so much imagery.
Like really romantic.
Why not just like, yeah? There's
like some
something
toast
really
or
like
something.
intimate about giving someone grapes. Yeah, it could have been a bit of toast or just like something he like stuffed in his pocket from tea.
Yeah.
Or some sweets, a pumpkin pasty.
But
The
grapes.
grapes just every time.
There was a choice made there.
That's what.
Yeah.
It's not this real kid was just like, oh, grab something. Oh, grapes. Also, where did he get the grapes from?
I know.
He'd been at dinner. Is he just got like? Is he a fruit guy? Is he just got loads of fruit stashed? Like, did they have grapes in the what's it called? The greenhouses? And they go and growing grapes at Hogwarts.
Oh yeah.
I guess maybe did he go to the kitchen?
But like, why would you ask for grapes instead of like sweets?
This kid is in hospital, and he's like,
you know what I really need right now?
Produce. Like, get the poor guy like a treat. Like, help him out. He doesn't want grapes.
To be fair, of all the fruit, the grapes are pretty good.
Grapes are. I'll give you that. Grapes are solid fruit. But not particularly. I imagine him like holding them in his hand as well.
Yeah.
They're not in anything. They're also not the
because they were found
fruit.
next to him.
That's true. They actually were. So he was just holding them.
Was
Was it like a stalk? Like, how many grapes did this kid have? What?
I'm crying.
Why did he have grapes? Why was that his choice?
Why grapes, J.K. Rowling?
Grapes.
Not
Please,
like,
let us
why
know.
weren't there any gay students? Not why weren't there more black
Why-
people?
why-
Why grapes?
Why grapes? Listen, you've got your issues. The biggest one is that why grapes? Okay, why? Just tell us. Where is the apple representation in your books? Like, I feel like here are my points. Number one, why grapes? Number two, is this some kind of fantasy that Colin is trying to fulfill? I say probably yes.
Yeah,
He's
and I
like,
think
do you know what?
like
He's
obviously
probably...
J.K. Rowling is doing this unintentionally, but yeah. Definite, like Colin, we cannot deny that Colin definitely has a huge crush on Harry at this point.
Yeah,
It's like envisioning him lovingly feeding Harry grapes. Anyway, we should move on.
Yeah,
Oh, that was hilarious.
I never will move on, but we should.
No, no.
Why grapes? I mean, we know why grapes. But...
Twitter, come on.
Jeez.
Barrage J.K. Rowling about this grape situation. Okay, right. Moving swiftly on.
I wasn't particularly swiftly moving on.
Yeah. In the film, McGonagall suggests that Colin could have gotten a picture of the attacker, and that is the reason that Albus gets the camera out of Colin's hands. But in the book, her question is more of a reaction to Dumbledore already getting the camera out of Colin's hands. Which I actually prefer in the film, because they often portray Dumbledore as like this Mr. Miyagi, Yoda kind of all-knowing being. So I appreciate like that they're doing the opposite here and giving like McGonagall a bit of the limelight, even in like a very simple, small way. In the film, the camera kind of has this like magical explosion. It's like sparks and puff of steam come out of it. It's a nice little gag. Is it gag? Is that right? Nice little feature. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Am I not entertaining enough?
Boring me.
I did a English high school teacher there. Am I boring you?
Yeah.
In the book, it just says that a jet of steam had hissed out of the camera. Harry, 3 beds away, caught the acrid smell of burning plastic. And in the book, Madame Pomfrey also confirms that the insides of the camera have all been melted, which I think is like a nice little. I wish they would have added that line into the film. I think that detail is nice, that it's all been melted. But maybe it's evident by like looking in the camera. I don't know.
That's true. In the book, you have to have it all kind of like explained from what they're saying.
Yeah. Dumbledore confirms that the Chamber of Secrets really has been opened again, and the film leaves it at that. But the book goes on to say, McGonagall says, "But Albus, surely, who?" My Scottish accent is terrible. "The question is not who," said Dumbledore, his eyes on Colin. "The question is how." Yeah. When Harry wakes up in the book, he tries to find Ron and Hermione, who were in the girls' bathroom brewing Polyjuice potion. Bit rude that they didn't come and meet him, but in the film, as Dumbledore says, "The Chamber of Secrets has been opened again," it like cuts straight to Hermione brewing the Polyjuice potion in the girls' bathroom, and she says, "Again? You mean the Chamber of Secrets has been opened before?"
One of my favourite things that films sometimes do is dialogue, is having one person having a conversation and then cutting to another conversation, and then it's in response to that same question, but clearly a different person has asked that question, and it's just a really fluid way of just cutting out so much unnecessary.
I think film directors should focus a lot on cutting, and I think they do. Like, cutting is one of those hidden things that you don't really think about, but is like super important in how a film flows and how information is portrayed, conveyed. Sorry.
Yeah, the like jumps from scene to scene. I feel like that's because there are some films that you will watch and it's, for example, have you seen The Social Network?
Yes.
That is one of those films that some people like it, some people hate it. I struggle to pause it because jumps from scene to scene feel so smooth.
Yeah.
So it's such a kind of easy, it really just like, anyway. And I feel like, I mean, as much as I love Harry Potter, the Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets isn't quite social network level, but it's
like they're
really
here
like
and then
this.
it's like, oh, they're in the corridor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I like this.
But this one is great. In the book, Hermione speculates as to what kind of creature could be in the chamber, which obviously isn't in the film, so I'll read that out. It says, "Maybe it can make itself invisible," said Hermione, prodding leeches into the bottom of the cauldron. "Or maybe it can disguise itself, pretending to be a suit of armour or something. I've read about chameleon ghouls." It's interesting how much extra reading Hermione does. Why are you reading about chameleon ghouls? You're 12. Also, only in the book, Ron has this brilliant line in reaction to Harry recounting what Dobby told him, which is, "So Dobby stopped us getting on the train and broke your arm?" He shook his head. "You know what, Harry? If he doesn't stop trying to save your life, he's going to kill you." Kind of reminds me of the film line in 7. Is it 7 when they save Harry Malfoy, and he's like, "If we die trying to save him, I'm going to kill you."
That's a good one.
Yeah. In the book, now that Colin has been petrified, everyone is spreading rumours and casting suspicions. Ginny, who sat next to Colin in Charms is now distraught, and Fred and George think that covering themselves with fur and boils and jumping out from behind statues is a great way to cheer her up. I agree, that's amazing. Ginny being distraught after Colin being petrified obviously isn't mentioned in the film at all, which I think is a rather huge missed opportunity for some like crazy foreshadowing.
Yeah, for sure. I think it really missed a trick here. It's like one of those things rereading where you're like, oh no, Ginny. Like,
yeah.
It just doesn't include.
Yeah.
Shame.
There is also now a roaring trade in amulets and other protective devices sweeping the school, which isn't mentioned in the film. And Neville has bought loads of them, which are... Here we go. He bought a large evil-smelling green onion. Evil-smelling, that's an interesting descriptor. A pointed purple crystal and a rotting newt tail. Before the other Gryffindor boys pointed out that he was in no danger, he was a pureblood and therefore unlikely to be attacked. But he does say, "They went for Filch first," Neville said, his round face fearful, "and everyone knows I'm almost a squib."
Aww.
Yeah, so that's why he's so terrified, even though he's a pureblood.
So sad.
Yeah.
Can we go back to evil smelling?
Yeah, evil smelling. That needs to be used more.
I almost don't have any comments on it. I just feel like we just need to reflect on that phrase. Just acknowledge it and move on.
Yeah, evil smelling.
Yeah.
Very good. I feel like with all of our compliments of J.K. Rowling that we've made in the past, the umbrella term for it would be that she is so good at making you feel what the characters are feeling. Like whether it's like season changes, or like general atmosphere environment, she like really puts you in the character's position.
Right.
Like, evil smelling. I can't smell that in my nose, but I know exactly what she means.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's that for our
That's
that on that. Very early YouTube.
Was that an early YouTube thing?
I think so. Is it? That's that on that. I don't know. I feel like people, when vloggers that first started, ending YouTube videos was like a weird thing that nobody knew how to do yet. Although it's still really awkward. But anyway, yes, that's the end of our book to film comparison for this episode. But we're gonna hand over to Lucy for our Marauders map.
Ooh, take a little stroll. Okie dokie. So, we do not have any new locations in this section. We spend pretty much the whole time in the hospital wing, which a lovely location, I will say. I quite, particularly when I'll check when we get there, but I'm pretty sure it's still the same location in the third
I think
book,
so.
in the third film, and then onwards. A very, very nice setting. I've already talked about that as a location, but I've got another little fun fact about the Divinity School at Oxford University, which is where the location for the hospital wing is, and that is that it was the first purpose-built building for university use at Oxford University.
Is that like in the world or in England? Do you know?
I think at Oxford University.
Oh, right.
it's like the first. It was the
I
first.
Guess if you go to Oxford
building.
Uni, there's a lot of like repurposed stuff, so that makes sense. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the first building that was like, this is Oxford University. Let's build this. Was that same building? So yeah, there we go.
Nice.
That's your fun fact.
I do. I love your fun facts. You always say that they're not very fun, but I think they're fun.
Thank you.
I have a lot of fun.
We spend a lot of time with these books in the same place.
Yeah.
So they're gonna get maybe slightly, not less fun, but just slightly less factual, maybe.
Yeah. We'll probably go on to talking about props and things like that.
Which will be fun. Oh, I could talk about the.
Oh my gosh!
I love the sets and the locations. The props. Jeez Louise.
Harry Potter has strong prop game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Production design of these films is incredible.
If I could have my dream job, it would be like making graphics or props for films.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I had realised that sooner,
Mm-hmm.
so I could pursue that career sooner, because I can't anymore. But yeah, so cool. All right, so that does conclude this episode of Potterwatch from page to screen.
Keep twiddling those dials, keep each other safe, keep faith.
Good night. It is hard to end things, isn't it? Yep, okay.